Hello and welcome to the Wilberforce School. My name is Kerry Wilson. I am the Director of Admissions. We're a classical Christian school serving students from pre-K to grade 12, located in Princeton, New Jersey. I will be your host today for a virtual school tour. Please follow me into our parent lounge. This is where many parents start the day. We have an active parent-teacher fellowship in our school. Parents are an integral part of our educational experience, and we recognize that parents are the primary educators for their children. So we partner with parents in many ways. Parents will participate in book clubs and reading groups, and they will help out on campus in a variety of ways, as well as with special events. Over here on the wall, you can see some artwork that we have selected from past years. Art, music, and theater are an integral part of our education. Helping students to be well-versed in the arts is an important part of having a true liberal arts education. Our day begins together at 8:10 with morning assembly, where students will sing the hymn of the month together, recite their habit and scripture verse that they are memorizing, receive announcements, say the Pledge of Allegiance, and then they will be dismissed to class. One day out of the week, on Wednesday morning, lower school students will have chapel instead of morning assembly. And that's a time for about 30 minutes where we have an outside speaker or a faculty member who will come in and share a little bit longer message with the students. So as you can see in the size of this classroom, we do have small classes of average 13 students per teacher in the lower school, which allows the teachers to work with students one-on-one and also pull them out for small groups. Habit development and formation is another important part of our lower school students. Teachers will work with students to learn habits such as tidiness, the habit of attention, the habits of honesty, and the habits of kindness. We believe that habit formation helps students to lay a good foundation for their studies and just for life moving forward. Our students are outside often. We often bring the outside in as well. So every lower school student will learn a different topic of nature study and science each trimester. Class 1 has been learning about ponds and rivers. Another distinctive that I will mention is our art and composer study. So every trimester, each class will learn about a new artist. For class 1, it has been most recently Leonardo da Vinci. They become familiar with the artist's biography and his or her works, and then they will also learn to create art in that style as well. They do the same with a new composer every trimester. That timeline and understanding where we are in history is a really important part of our foundation of education. So as our students encounter figures in literature, in history, through biography, even through Bible study, we will put those figures up on our timeline. So by the time they leave the lower school, they understand where they have come from and where they occupy their place in history, so they can go on to make history. 85% of our middle school and upper school students will participate in sports or activities after school. We have a very successful debate team. We have a yearbook and journalism club, and then we have sports, cross country and soccer in the fall, swimming and basketball in the winter, track and field in the spring, as well as volleyball and lacrosse. So athletics are definitely a big part of our school experience here at Wilberforce. Most students do participate in them, and we encourage students to take risks and try sports that they may not have tried before, which is a really important part of being young and not over-specializing too soon. You will also see some other fun pictures. This is a picture of our 6th graders from 2 years ago, and they are celebrating at a Hobbit feast. So something else that's really important to us here is living literature, and we choose the best of books that we can find for all of our students at all of their grade levels, and the students in 6th grade are reading Tolkien's The Hobbit and celebrating the end of that book by recreating one of the feasts in the book with the help of parents and teachers. Some of these other pictures that you can see, this is one of our Humane Letters classes, and I'll tell you a little bit more about Humane Letters as we go up to the 3rd floor, but you can also see our musical theater. A number of our students do participate in musical theater as well as sports and other activities. We do carve out time after school on Tuesdays where we don't have sports practice to allow students to participate in theater and do both. So again, trying to give people the opportunity to try things at this stage in life as they are able to. We are in our middle school den. Our middle school at Wilberforce includes grades 6, 7, and 8. And this is a time in a student's life where parents and teachers are working with students to develop good study habits and to continue to lay a foundation for academic excellence. Sixth grade is a special time for middle schoolers because this is when they are inducted into their house. The house system at Wilberforce brings students from 6th through 12th grade together into 4 houses, which function as small families within our school. And these houses compete against one another in sports activities, spelling bees, geography bees, community service. And these houses create an opportunity for our older students to mentor and to lead. And they create an opportunity for our younger students to be part of a multi-grade, multi-age, small family within the school. This is our art room. And if you ask students, this is for many of them one of their favorite rooms. Even if they didn't come into our school thinking that they were an art person, students come to find that they can try things a little bit outside of their comfort zone. And many of them find that they actually really excel at different types of art. So here, students starting in our Explorers level all the way up through grade 12 will take art. They will learn art history and art technique, from watercolor to oil pastel to wire sculpture, many different types of art. Starting in middle school, students are introduced to physical science, biological science, and chemical science, and they continue in those disciplines in the upper school with biology, chemistry, and either 2 years of physics or a year of physics and a year of biochemistry, complemented by MATLAB programming. Our school took Wilberforce's name because he was someone whose faith propelled to drive for social impact and change. And we want our students, when they leave our school, to do the same, to know what they are called to and feel equipped to do that. William Wilberforce was someone who persevered despite obstacles and odds. He's an example of grit and of faithful perseverance despite many challenges in his life. This also is a showcase for some of our students who have participated in debates and other clubs, as well as sports. This is our second floor multi-purpose room where our middle school and upper school students will start their day with their morning assembly, which is similar to that of the lower school. You will also see on our wall the 4 shields for our houses: Thornton, Macaulay, Venn, and Moore. And you can see our tally for points that have been accumulated. So the competition is fierce and continues until the very end of the year, and everybody's always waiting to see who comes out on top with house points. We believe at Wilberforce that he or she who does the talking does the learning, and so we want to invite students into a space where they will be able to participate. And so this is an example of a classroom where students would be dialoguing with one another, and where participation is of great importance in a classroom experience. So our faculty members and our students sit together. They learn to discover texts, to mark up texts, and they learn to discuss, put forward beliefs and opinions, back them up, stand correction from a classmate, and learn on a continual basis from what other students have learned and believe as well. So the seminar style table is a fundamental part of how we experience education here at Wilberforce. This is where books are housed for different upper school classes, which comprises grades 9 through grade 12. And off of the library, we have different seminar rooms. This is a room used for humane letters and calculus and Latin. And this is one of our foreign language seminar classrooms. Our high school was developed after the model created by the Trinity School. And this was developed by a group of professors at Notre Dame University who wanted to create a secondary school model that was both academically rigorous in the math and science areas, as well as the humane letters, literature, philosophy, history, and theology. And so what our students will do starting in 9th grade is they begin with humane letters class, which is a double period class that covers those humanities subjects, and they are guided by a faculty member learning how to mark up primary sources and texts and bring their thoughts and observations to the table and begin discussing and making persuasive speech and writing persuasively in composition. So humane letters is a really fundamental and foundational part of our upper school experience, and it's often what a number of our students say prepares them the best for their college experience. All upper school students will learn physics and calculus in upper school, as well as the use of the MATLAB programming language to augment their learning. The math sequence in upper school will take students from Algebra 2 and geometry all the way up through statistics or multivariable calculus. And we do have multiple sequences for students to follow depending on their goals and parent and teacher recommendation. This is our college guidance nook. We do have 3 guidance counselors who work with students starting in the 9th grade. And our goal is for each student to find the college or university that's going to be the right fit for them. So we do have students who go on to Ivy League schools. We have students going to public honors colleges. We have students who go to Christian colleges. So really it's working with that student to find out what their interests are and how we can best support them. Starting in 9th grade, our college counselors will get to know the student, and moving through the 12th grade, they are helping students to work on essay preparation, test preparation, and really have a full rounded picture of who each student is. So by the time they get to the college application process, that student is known to the counselor, which is a really important part of preparing for the next step. At the Wilberforce School, we do have high SAT scores, we have excellent college admissions, but we do tell students that what is more important than those things is learning to love learning for its own sake and reaching for the things that are higher and better. And the scores and acceptances tend to come along with that package, but we really do encourage students to stretch and to learn and to grow, not just for the purpose of getting into a school, but really to become persons, to become the person that God created them to be. Thank you for joining me for this tour today. I hope that you will reach out if you have any questions. I would be happy to schedule a virtual information session or schedule time for you to speak with one of our faculty members if you have specific questions for them. I look forward to speaking with you and discovering if a Wilberforce education might be a good fit for your family. Thank you.